of every place that we go as fast as we can. And, you know, there might be some people out there that need help. And we're just not noticing it. But anyway, all right. Quote of the day, Joe Rogan. There's only one way to get good at anything. You surround yourself with the bad motherfuckers who are doing exactly what you do, and you force yourself to keep up and inspire each other. That's deep, brother. Joe Rogan throws out some good quotes, man. He always does. Inspirational stuff. So, let's get started, guys. So, how can shifting your mindset change your life? Your mindset is the lens you view the world with. If your lens seeks out fear and negative emotions, you will continue to lead a life aligned with those emotions. If you change your lens to seek out love, abundance, and happiness, you will begin leading a life aligned with exactly those things. It's huge, guys. You know, think about it. You know, we have that lens, you know, kind of like I have glass lens right now, right? How are you looking through your glass lenses? How are you looking through your eyes? Those are your lenses, guys. How are you looking at that? If your lens seeks out fear and negative emotions, you'll continue to live a negative life, right? If you change your lens to seek out love and love one another and abundance and happiness, you'll begin to lead a life aligned with exactly those things. You know, that's positive things. You'll start seeing life on a positive note, guys. That's huge right there. How can shifting your mindset change your life? Here's some things that I'm going to give you examples of. Signs you're bottling up your emotions. You don't feel like yourself. Other people showing emotion makes you uncomfortable. I know I've kind of felt that way a lot of times. Somebody starts showing you emotion, you kind of shun them off. You kind of put them off. You know, you kind of shrug it off. You're using a lot of distraction to avoid thinking about your emotions. So it's almost like you're distracting yourself because you don't want to feel the emotions at that time. You know, you might be in a scenario where you're feeling uncomfortable about the emotions you're feeling. So you try to distract those, right? You've developed a short fuse and get annoyed easily. Huge one for me. I used to get annoyed a lot. Over everything. Everything used to annoy me. Like a short fuse. Boom. Snap of a finger, guys. That's how my fuse used to be. Very short wick. Light that thing. Boom. It's like that fireworks that you go and you light and it almost explodes in your hand because the wick was so short, guys. Those are some signs that you're bottling up your emotions. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, fools. Positive self-talk. Don't keep that stuff bottled up. Find that. This is where peer support comes in. Find that good peer support system. Get those emotions out. Talk about them. All right, next. Things you don't need to feel guilty about in your life, guys. Here's 6 of them. 6 things that you don't need to feel guilty about. Removing someone from your life. Hey, listen, guys. You have to remove the bad, the evil, the backstabbers. The people that aren't good for your life. The people that don't support you. The people that don't care. Don't feel bad about removing people in your life, especially if it's negative. Not living up to people's expectations. There's one person that you should live your expectations up to, and that's yourself and the Lord. 2 people, actually. Set expectations for yourself. Don't let other people do those for you. Taking time for yourself. Hey, guys, that's huge. If you're not taking enough time for yourself, you need to make time. You know. Choose a hobby if you don't have one. Go to the gym. That's what I use a lot of my time to take time for myself. Never had a lifting partner, never will. I like that time to be by myself. Just find something to be able to take that time for yourself. Give time back to yourself. Setting boundaries and sticking to them. You don't need to feel guilty about it. Reaching out for help and support. Don't feel guilty about that, guys. I never felt guilty about it. I just never thought I ever had a problem. So I chose not to. But always reach out for help and support, guys. It will help. Find that, again, that peer support. Good peer support. Making choices that protect you to keep you safe. Things you don't need to feel guilty about. Making choices that protect you and keep you safe. Don't feel guilty about that, guys. Some huge stuff right there. Huge stuff. Just think about those. We're going to move on to the health benefits of positive thinking. Health benefits of positive thinking may provide these things. Increased lifespan. Positive thinking obviously is going to take less stress on your body. Physically and mentally, guys. It lowers rate of depression. It lowers levels of distress and pain. Greater resistance to illness. Better psychological and physical well-being. Better cardiovascular health. And reduces risk of death from cardiovascular disease and stroke. It reduces risk of death from cancer, from respiratory conditions, and death from infections. Believe it or not, this is all from positive thinking, guys. Benefits. Here's a big one. Better coping skills during hardships and times of stress. It's unclear why people who engage in positive thinking experience these health benefits. One theory is having a positive outlook enables you to cope better with stressful situations, but reduces the harmful health effects of stress on your body. That's one way of, actually kind of, I'm not going to so much say proven fact, but I think that it's pretty much, not so much been researched, but I think just having a better quality of life, obviously, is going to keep you at lower risk of these things. Then, again, those were the health benefits of positive thinking. It's just all around better to think positively, guys, instead of negatively. If you find yourself thinking negatively, find something. You can plan. You can go ahead and plan ahead, guys. All right, if I start thinking negatively, what am I going to do to start thinking positively? Well, you know me. You guys know it. I say it every time. I go back, I look at the 80s things that we had when we were kids, 90s things we had when we were kids, and it puts me in a great mood. I take myself to the gym. I start thinking positively. Get you out of that rut. Get you out of that negative thinking, guys. Okay, so here's some things I'm going to bring to you. We're going to flip the script here. This is why you should be proud of making mistakes. We all make mistakes in life. And this is why you should be proud of them. Mistakes allow us to learn what we value. You make a mistake, you're going to learn from your values, right? And that's something I'm going to talk about later. We had the 7 Army values while I was in the military. And those go along with civilian life. You can live by those military values in your civilian life, and you'll be a better person. I'm going to go over those when I get done with this. Mistakes teach us to value forgiveness. We make mistakes. Other people make mistakes. We might have made that same mistake that the other person made, and maybe we had done it before them, so we kind of knew and learned from that. And then this person makes the same mistake. We forgive them for that, right? Mistakes teach us to take responsibility. Take responsibility of your life. What caused you to make this mistake? Right? We all make mistakes, guys. Mistakes help you to learn to be resilient. Big time. Huge right there. Mistakes invite us to better choices. We learn. We learn from that mistake, and then we're going to choose a better choice the next time, right? We're going to choose a better route. Mistakes help us develop compassion. Not for just yourself, but for others. Mistakes help us develop compassion with ourselves and others. Mistakes provide us reference. Last but not least, mistakes are lessons and learning opportunities, guys. If you can sit there and you can take a mistake and you can learn from it and you can teach yourself a lesson from it and not do that, not make that mistake again, then you've learned something, guys. You should be proud. You should be proud, guys. All right, let's move on here. These are 8 signs that your mental health may actually be declining. Feeling irritable. Sleep struggles. You struggle being able to sleep. You might be trying to go to sleep and being able to fall asleep. Or you might be that person that gets up and down all night. Insomnia. Feeling disconnected, number 3. Sign your mental health might be declining. Feeling disconnected. Isolating from loved ones. That was a huge one for me. Isolation was one of the number 1 things that I used to do. You know, I love spending time with family. My family and my in-laws. And right before, I don't mind to share this story, right before I went into the PRTP, the PTSD program, the residential program I went through, my father-in-law and my sister and brother-in-law and everybody was over here. And they all went out. I stayed at home. My son was even here, and my son even knew something was wrong. I was declining very fast. And I didn't even go out with them. They were playing yard ball, like it's I can't remember what that's actually called. I think it's yard ball. I don't know. I didn't even do that. I didn't even go out to eat with them. I sat here. I was sleeping all the time. And then that was on a Saturday. And come Sunday, that's when I became very suicidal. And Monday it was really bad. I almost took my life that Monday. Tuesday I was checked into the VA. So isolating from loved ones has always been a huge one for me. It was just more drastic that last time. But anyway, difficulty concentrating. That's a huge one. Feeling guilty or like you're failing. Increased intrusive thoughts. Think about that. Signs your mental health may be declining. Increased intrusive thoughts. And here's a big one too, believe it or not. And this is something that you can watch with your loved ones. And if you see this happening, you need to reach out, because this is actually something that's very concerning. And this is number 8. Struggles with personal hygiene. If you're not taking your showers, if you notice a loved one or yourself not taking showers regularly, like you might be, that person might not be brushing their teeth. If they might not be taking care of wearing dirty clothes, not washing their clothes, not washing their linens. Watch for that stuff, guys. If you live with somebody that's starting to, struggle with their personal hygiene, you need to reach out to them and talk to them and try to show some guidance and try to be there for them, be their peer support, right? Talk about that a lot. So those were the 8 things. Those were signs of your mental health might be declining. And those are things you can watch, okay, with your loved ones too. Like sleep struggles. You can watch that with one of your loved ones. You can see that they might have started having sleep struggles. You might see that they're feeling irritable, and maybe they used to not be irritable. So some of those you can actually see. from your loved ones. It might not even be you in particular, but it might be one of your loved ones that you can see this stuff happening. Be their peer support, guys. So, moving on. 6 ethics of life. Before you pray, believe. Before you speak, listen. Before you spend, earn. Before you write, think. Before you quit, try. Before you die, live. Guys, if you're not living, okay, I try to tell my kids this a lot, you know. The time you could take a 100-year-old person and you compare their life here on earth. That's a long time, right? On earth. But if you think about eternity, that's a millisecond of time compared to what we're going to spend in eternity. So live your life before you die, guys. Live your life before you die. Live a good life. Learn to let go. Learn to forgive. And I'm not preaching the Lord on anybody, but for the ones that might need it, get right with the Lord, guys. Get right with the Lord. All right. So I talked about earlier about the 7 Army values that we used to live by while we were in the military. Guys, you can live by these in the civilian world. And I don't know, there's a lot of civilians that might not know these and that might not. But I'm going to read them off and tell you exactly what they are. Loyalty. Okay. For the military, it's bear true faith and allegiance to the United States Constitution. The Army, your unit, and other soldiers, right? But loyalty can also play off in the civilian world. Be loyal to your loved ones, your wife, your husband, your kids, right? Be loyal to your country, guys. You know, duty. What did duty mean to us in the military? It was fulfilling our obligations. Same thing with civilian world. Fulfill your obligations. Any obligation that you have, fulfill it. Respect. Treat people as they should be treated. Respect. Respect people out there in the world. Respect your loved ones. Respect people even when they're not respecting you. Show them that you're the bigger person. You're the better person, guys. Selfless service. Put the welfare of the nation, the Army, and your subordinates before your own. So, how does that transition to the civilian world? Well, obviously, I'm going to try to put my kids' needs in front of mine, right? I'm going to look out for my kids before I'm going to look out for myself, man. You know? Selfless service. Tell you something I did today. There's an elderly lady. I try to help the elderly people in my neighborhood. There's a lady, Miss Honaker, that lives across the street from me. She's 85 years old. I've been starting to take her trash out for her. Taking her trash can out on Wednesday nights. Her trash runs on Thursday, so we got to put it out Wednesday. I've been rolling her trash out for her. Selfless service. My buddy Clarence lives down the road here. He's an elderly guy. He's about to have a hip replacement. I've been talking to his daughter some about helping out with him when he comes home. I love Clarence. He's a good dude. We shoot the shit a lot. You can learn a lot, guys, from your elders. Clarence is a good guy. Honor is one of them. Live up to all your Army values. Well, guess what? Civilian life. Live with honor, guys. Honor your family. Honor yourself. Honor your peer support. Honor your loved ones, guys. Integrity. Do what's right legally and morally. Well, that transitions obviously in the civilian world, don't it? You want to live with integrity, right? Last but not least, personal courage. face fear, danger, and adversity, physical or moral. I don't even need to explain that, guys. Live with personal courage in this civilian world. Face your fears. You get knocked down, get up before that 10 count. Get up at 9. Punch it right back, boys. Punch life back in the face, man. Throw that jab at it. Throw that hook at it. If it's something that knocks you down, you get right back up. Right? Transition. So those were the 7 Army Corps values that we had, that we lived by. And all of those can be used in the civilian world. And I think that's all I have tonight, but there's a few other things I'm going to do here. I want you guys to listen to something. This is off topic. Okay, but again, I was talking earlier about how we walk around in the world a lot of times. Again, not myself. You guys, Jocko, I'm going to play this video for a minute and let you guys listen to it. And it's about how we carry ourselves out there in the civilian world around other people. Just listen to the things he says. And it's crazy that he actually says in here, and I say it all the time, and I've said it on here a lot, about keeping your head on a swivel when you're out there in the civilian world, to keep you and your loved ones out of danger. Right? Because we don't know what criminals are thinking. A lot of people walk around like it won't happen to me. It's part of mental health, guys. It truly is. How do you carry yourself outside in the civilian world? How do you walk? How do you hold your arms? How do you hold your hands? Do you make eye contact with people? I'm going to play this video, and I want you guys to listen to what Jocko says here on studies that were done by criminals. Let's hear it out here. Let me get it pulled up here. It's pulling up. Bear with me, guys. Actually, hold on. Playing my buddy, playing Call of Duty right now.
Warzone to Warzone 2 went, though, I wonder if Blackout would be worse than Blackout 2.
It's my buddy Bobby Poff playing Call of Duty. Hold on, I'm trying to get it pulled up here.
You might.
Sorry about that.
Small confession, I've never been a big fan of water, but you have to stay hydrated.
Takes a criminal about 7...
Sorry, guys, I'm trying to get it pulled up here. Hold on. I don't know what my phone's doing right now. Hold on. Yeah, it is funny, isn't it? Bobby's on there. I don't know what's going on with my phone right now. I'm trying to get this pulled up. I don't know what's going on. Sorry, just bear with me. Sorry, guys. I don't know why it keeps pulling up different things. It was playing it there for a second, and then it stopped. Gotta love TikTok. We're going to get there. Yeah, man, I love Jocko stuff. TikTok's doing something weird tonight.
How does it feel to be premiered?
Hold on. But, guys, this is, when I get this pulled up, this is going to give you guys some insight on some things that you probably aren't aware of with how you are out there in the civilian world and how you're carrying yourself. It's huge out there. Criminals watch that stuff, guys. Especially if you live in a big city or something.
takes a criminal about 7 seconds to decide whether you're a good victim or a bad victim. There's a psychological study where violent criminals rated videos of pedestrians from 1 to 10. From easy to victimize to I would avoid trying to victimize that person. People that the perpetrators would look at and say, I probably wouldn't assault that person. Mm-hmm. They had something that they called organized quality. So the person just looks organized. If you look squared away, it's a real thing. Yeah. People sense that. The victims, the way most of the people that were identified as, I would attack that person, they would say they had inconsistency in the way they walked. So how should we walk? One of them is stride length. Forceful, dynamic steps. Medium length, so you're not trying to step too far, because then you look awkward. Posture, you got to stand up straight. Makes sense. Here's how you don't walk. You don't want to take little small steps either. Little tiny steps. Because then you either look timid or you look like you're hurt or like you're limping and you're like a weak gazelle out on the plains that's about to get taken down. If you're slumped over, you're hunched, it means you're scared. If you're slower than everybody else, you're probably injured. You're probably some way weak. You can't propel yourself with any amount of force.
You for sure can't get away. That's kind of like what it feels like. They can't escape. Look how slow this guy is.
That was another one. If your arm swing is too small, that means you're timid.
Yeah.
Which you can imagine someone walking all huddled up right together. What I like about these things is it's kind of things like you said, you don't even notice them.
Yeah.
So what if you're a person that does these things? Yeah. Or when you get nervous, you do something.
Yeah.
You need to pay attention to it. And then on top of these things, of more things to do is be looking around. Right? You shouldn't be just, obviously, what do we see nowadays all the time? It's people staring at their phone. Yeah. You should have what we used to call in the SEAL teams, head on a swivel. Mm-hmm. Looking around, looking at people.
Yeah.
I see you. A big one. I'm tracking you. Yeah. You don't have to stare at them, but you just look at them. Yeah. Maybe you give them a little nod, but you at least let them know I'm tracking you. Yeah. I see what you're doing. Let them know that you see them. And then that thereby takes away the element of surprise. It puts them in a little discomfort. Here's the counterintuitive thing about looking at people. Sometimes people don't want to look at people because they're afraid you're going to start something, right? Yeah. Whereas just looking at people, like looking around, is what you should be doing. And when you're not confident enough to look at someone, that's a signal in its own right. So if you're not looking at me, I know you're not confident.
Yeah.
Right? That's a very common thing. Takes a criminal.
Hey guys, that's huge right there. That's huge right there. What he was talking about. I don't know how many times. I'd say probably every single one of my sessions of mental health, I've always talked about keeping your head on a swivel, like he talked about. I've been a firm believer on that. There's been times we've been out in public, and Shauna, if she was on here right now, she could tell you that's how I am. Sometimes she gets mad at me because she'll be talking to me, but I'm looking around. I'm checking out my scenery. What's this person doing? What's that person doing? I'll even look at people and I'll look at their clothing. Is there a gun protruding from this person? Is this guy wearing a knife on their hip? Or something like that. You have to be aware of your surroundings, especially the world we're living in right now, guys. That's mental health, too. All this that Jocko said and myself, it's mental health, guys. It's being aware of your surroundings, awareness, being mindful. Talk about that a lot, guys. Think about those things. Hey, do a little bit of homework. Okay, 2 things you can do. Without thinking, okay, go to the store, or when you're out, or you're in the gym, or you're walking into the gym, or whatever. Notice how you're walking, okay, without trying to walk a certain way. See how you're doing with your surroundings. Not only that, start watching your surroundings. You don't have to be hyper vigilant like me, all crazy like because of the shit I went through. But, be aware. Start watching people a little bit. Don't stare at them like he said. Glance. There ain't nothing wrong with glancing. Seeing who's around you. and watch people's mannerisms. Like, what is this person acting weird right now? You know, I see too many TikTok videos out there where something violent could be happening. And what do people do? They pull that damn phone out and they start recording, right? So if there's a violent event happening and that person is filming that video, right? Where's that person's concentration? It's on that event that's happening right there, right? Do you think it's on their surroundings? Or something that's happening behind them? Or something that's happened even in their peripheral vision? No. It's stuck on that right there. Tunnel vision, like I talked about earlier. It's stuck on that event. How do you know what's going on there didn't start possibly behind you? And that they might have other people that's behind you where this got escalated out to here in front of you. And that these people are going to come up behind you. They see you filming what's happening. A criminal act. And that's their buddy that's committing that criminal act. And they come up behind you, pop. They might have a knife. You don't know that. As soon as you pull that phone out and you go to record something, your mind is totally tunnel visioned onto what is happening in front of you. This is all mental health, guys. It's mental health to live safe for you and your family.